So, today we are going to labor laws. Basically, a recycled concept used in plastic, course, and some slight modification for So, we covered around 8 lectures. So, probably we have much about 9 class. I'm just trying to record the voice here. And I hope that it is going to be a little better than what it is that we have as an echo. Because when I'm trying to add the video, I find that there's too much of echo. Anyway, let's hope it's better now. So, what are these labor laws? Have you heard of labor laws? Have you heard of any labor laws? Are there labor laws? Can you just tilt to the right? Yeah, little more. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so does India have labor laws? Okay, yes, India does have labor laws. And how many of you have heard of ILO? ILO, yes, International Labour Organization. So basically, what do they do? Why were they formed? Justice, for all? Fair wages. Child labor should be avoided. Yes, that was one of the major things for which they brought out. They were having that people below 16 should not work. Then they made it 14. Okay. So, in fact, things like this are quite serious because in a construction site you will find that even small children of the biggest person in that firm might not be usually allowed. That is because of these labor laws. Okay. Now, as a quick thing, we were looking at buyer's role in a project, what the buyer is going to do in a project. If you are there, how you are going to get the budget sanctioned. These are two things which we are looking at in the last class. You have two types. You may be in the buyer side, you may sit in the buyer's office, and then you will be you take out my phone, we'll take it at the last minute. Okay. So, so we usually have two sides where you are going to be the buyer. You ensure that you are going to get the things that you want at the price which you feel is optimum. You are going to ensure that that thing is going to happen. Okay, and the other part of that is where you are going to bid for a job. You are going to see that you are going to make a profit. Okay. Typically, the profit is proportional to the risk. If the competition is more, then what will become to the profit? If competition is more, profit is going to be lesser. You are right. Okay. So, if you yourself will be able to see this, whenever there are many shops of the same time close to each other, you will find that the people are putting, like discounts and everything in a very bold manner. However, suppose you are having monopoly, you can take the example of Walmart. You will find that all the products are much costlier than any other place. Okay, I don't know how many of you agree with me. Okay, but Walmart appears to be much costlier because they know that most of the people are not going to be able to go very far. So today we are going to look at the labor in construction industry. We are also going to have a look at how a laborer is going to view the construction industry, the bosses in the construction industry, and also how the management is going to look at laborers in the construction industries. And then we got some laws which are there in India. In India, you have two kinds of laws. One is the state laws, and the other is the national law. Okay. Normally, the state laws are a subset of the national laws which will be adopted for the local requirement. Okay. So mostly you will find that all these rules are trying to satisfy the ILO, because the UN has said 8 hours of work or 40 hours of work per week. They will try their best to ensure that this is alone projected. Okay. If you are in the HR or if you are having an organization, you will try to make it that your employees are going to, you will show on paper. What you will do, you will say lunch break half an hour, not counted. 15 minutes tea break. So your working hours will somehow come to 9 hours 15 minutes. You will be in the office for 9 hours 15 minutes at least. Okay, this happens everywhere. It happens also in the IT companies and almost anywhere else. Okay, Anna, the thing is, in construction industry, you will find that it is very much worse. So here are some photographs which I am showing, like which you are, I am sure, very familiar with. If you find anything new, I will be surprised. So here, this is a very common sight. If you go to any big construction firm, this is not going to happen. This they will not allow. Okay. Do you have what is known as HSC? They will have a HSC policy. What is HSC? Health, safety and environment. HSC policy will be there, which will be controlling all this sort of things. Okay. So basically, if you look at an organization like Tata, they are very particular that there is zero accident. Okay. Even if a man sprains a finger or they go to that level. So that is called where a man hour is lost. 1 man hour is getting lost because you have to take him to the hospital. If 4 people are going to take him to the hospital, 4 man hours are getting lost. Okay. And they will have in front of each of their plants. If you go to the Jamshedpur plant, inside each of the plants, they have got individual, like a generator room itself is like a plant. So opposite that, they will put so many incident-free hours. Okay. So how many of the construction firms do you think will be able to put it in that way? So the basic reason why we are looking at this welfare measure is, if this person is going to get injured, he is going to suffer a lot. Okay. If suppose he breaks his leg and then you are going to put an implant, he will not be able to climb and stand like this and work. If he is not able to do this work, his earning potential gets that much reduced. Okay. So that is why we are very much concerned about giving a safe working environment for the people. I was watching a documentary on how the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco, one of the longest spanning bridges, was constructed. So it was one of the first few projects where this personal safety equipment was coming into picture. What is this personal safety equipment? All this harness, hard hat, whatever you see, they first started to introduce it in that project only. Okay. So now other things are quite thing, and this is a reality. See, the reality of Indian construction is, none of the children of construction laborers get to study, because the whole population is migrant. Okay. Can you please take the attendance later? Not now. Okay. Not now. We'll do it at the end. Thank you. Okay. So now what happens is, construction industry is made up of migrant employees. Okay. 95% of the people who are in construction are migrant employees, and 45% of those who are working in mega cities or big cities are all, like, most of the projects are done only by migrant employees. Suppose you go for a bigger construction company, they don't need any migrant employee. They'll use either ITI or diploma holders for doing the concreting. Concrete is being pumped in place. Most of the rebars are bent in a lathe. It's all machine produced. It is just brought in place with a crane, kept it, and then they finish the concreting. It means that the industry is less labor intensive. It's not depending on laborers. There is an advantage that you are able to get higher quality, consistent quality. However, what is happening? The unemployment rate will keep increasing. Okay. So yeah, as I was telling, this is again recycled. I don't know whether this is queue for pay or whether they are all looking for a job, but most probably they are waiting for their pay because they are all in full gear. Okay, so now these are some of the things which we have to look at when you look at a laborer. How are you going to look at a laborer? Are you going to look at him as an asset, or are you going to look at him as a liability? Liability is something you spend upon. Asset is something that gives you money. Is a laborer an asset or a liability? As a construction manager, you will be saying it is a liability. Okay, if you are a human rights person, you will say that it is an asset. You will say India's greatest strength is the huge population. Okay. Anyway, so whatever you want to do, whatever way you want to take it, you take it. See, whenever you are having a large labor force, the chance that some friction is going to take place is going to be very large. You will find that the degree of intolerance among human beings is quite high. They will say this person is from this region, I won't want to work with him. So even if you see most of the labor gangs, they will all be working as that state people only. Okay, if you go and see, you will find that that is a very big reality. You will very rarely find, if it is a labor pool of uneducated people normally, you will find that they are not working as big groups among people in many cases. Of course, I may be wrong, but in any case, it is there. Then you have to give social security. What is the social security that we are talking about in India? Excuse me. Yeah, what is the social security we are talking about? We are talking about EPF, okay, Provident Fund. You will have group insurance. Okay, so these are a few things which you are looking at as social security. Nowadays, most of the firms are supposed to take this group insurance. So if any accident takes place, they are taking care of that. But for that, you have to provide, you are going to pay for that. You are going to pay for that insurance. So this is also going to come under your cost. This is also going to come under your cost. Again, if suppose there is a huge labor force, the amount of safety equipment that you are going to have is going to increase that much more. Suppose you are going to put a net, and if suppose you are going to expect 100 people to fall down, how will the net be when compared to that for a 10 people working at a height? Same thing goes with the full body harness. Okay, they have to take that harness, attach it to some place. So if more number of people are going to do the work at the same level, you are going to find that you are going to give that much more, you are going to invest that much more in safety gear. Then again, you are also going to have to give holidays. Okay, you are saying that only 5 days, 40 hours. How are you going to get the holidays in place? One of my favorite examples is when I went to that Orissa mines. Okay, there that place is Kalinga Nagar is a place where the biggest smelter of Tata Steel is coming up. Okay, and in Kalinga Nagar we had a site. So when we went there, there was a lockout. People are saying that some small thing happened, so immediately Tata Steel closed the gate. Strike, no work was going on. So then the challenge for the engineer was, people are going to come and say, I was working when they are not working. So if they say anything, they'll say, we didn't see you. They'll say, no, we were sitting here only, you didn't ask us to work. The buyer has stopped work, you cannot do any work, but then what is happening? So the laborers are using that loophole. The ones who actually came and idly sat and those who actually were participating in the strike, you cannot distinguish. Okay, so if suppose you are having a huge labor force, 1,000 people are working, so you are going to pay for 1,000 people all the benefits, all their allowances and their salary. Instead, if only 100 people are there, you will yourself understand how the economics work. So now this is one of the other big thing is time eaters. People will sit, they will have their chai, after their chai they will have their snacks. So things will keep happening. The amount of work they actually do is very, very less. So this is another very big challenge which we have in the Indian context. Okay, I will state one thing which my brother did when he was in Kudankulam plant. Inside the reactor building, you are not supposed to do any eating, drinking or any other thing. Okay, your food. So when you look at the reactor, it's a 10-story high building. You have to go up 10 stories, come down 10 stories to come to the working area. So he got a special permit from the NPCL stating that if any damage is there, we will make good. So, but see what happened was they saved about 1 hour per session. Okay, 1 hour per session. Per tea break, 15 minutes tea break. This going up and coming down was 1 hour per time. So 2 times if you give tea, 2 hours almost you could say. Even if you say 45 minutes was saved, 45 plus 45, 1.5 hours people can save. So as a construction manager, you will also be faced with such challenges. You will find that there are places where you can actually avoid wastage of time. Your 15-minute tea break is still 15 minutes. Now that going and coming, people feeling tired, getting back into that mood to work, all that is getting cut down. Okay. So how we are going to go about that is a challenge. Another thing is, I think he told, if you don't go out for tea, I'll give you a packet of biscuits or I'll have biscuits arranged. How much is a packet of biscuit? 20 rupees at the most. Okay. They only want Mary biscuit. They don't want any hi-fi biscuit. So they are so happy that they are getting 2 biscuits or 3 biscuits. They are willing to stay here and have their coffee break. Okay. So depending on the place where you are, maybe it will not work for a place where diploma holders are there. You may have to go for something slightly more hi-fi. However, the fact still remains that as construction managers, think a little as to how you can please the people and get work done. Okay. So the next thing is, if you look at way a laborer will look at the employer, just imagine you are going to go and sit in an office and you are going to get paid. Okay. The wage of an unskilled person is between 500 rupees to 800. He has not got BTech degree, he may not have done his MTech. Okay, 800 rupees, and if he is going to work 30 days a month, okay, he is going to get overtime for Sundays which he is working. Engineers are not eligible for overtime normally because they are all in the managerial cadre. Okay, so you can look at the salary which these people are going to earn. How much do you think they will earn with this logic? 700 rupees per hour, per day, per month. With their overtime, how much do you think they are earning potential is? Hey, give a number here. Minimum at least 21,000 rupees they can earn. Okay, because there will be some other, like expenses which you can't tell. Cost to company minimum 21,000. So, and what is the salary of a fresh engineer? Any ideas? Any guesses? 20,000. Okay, already that your the person under you is earning 1,000 rupees more than you. Here I have not taken overtime. I have not put overtime into account. Increase the sound. Okay, is it better now? Okay. So without your overtime, without putting any overtime, he is getting 21,000. Already he is earning much more than the engineer. So do you think the engineer is going to feel that life is fair? You might be his boss. Is he going to work very happily for you? You have to think about this. Okay. So this is something that always happens. Every employer will feel that employee will feel he is producing much more than what is required. No employee is going to think that he has to give at least 20 times of his income as billing for the company to sustain. So to get 20,000, 20 times more you have to be able to make your billing. Then only you are going to be making it sustainable. Okay. So, and again another thing is, whenever I look, I'll say, why should I come in a old Maruti car? Why not I also have an Audi or Benz? Not clear. This one, if it is really not clear, for the love of heaven, please write to Dean Academics that this hall is full of echo, because I really can't help it. I don't know what to do. If I bring my mic closer, echo is there. If I make it a little further off, people in the back are not able to hear. This is or I can ask all the people to come forward. Can I do that? What? CDMM, see, the thing is, The classroom capacity is 90. This class strength is 140. Sorry? No, TT, they are not accepting. I have made 3 representations to the Dean Academics. I have also made it through the our Dean. Okay, all of us have tried. We have not succeeded. If you are able to succeed, I am happy. Because honestly, I don't know what is the midpoint. They are not accepting it. Yeah, they are not accepting it to give us another hall. That's the problem. Sorry. Okay, suppose you are able to get permission and it is coming on our login. It is the best thing that can happen, honestly. Okay, because this room is too open, so there's too much of echo. Okay. What? We'll come back to that later. Let me just try to finish this lecture. Now also it's bad, huh? Because I know I can understand how you are feeling, because when I give the mic to one of you, I am not able to also clearly understand your question. It takes a lot of effort to try to grasp what you are trying to tell me. Okay. Sorry? Yeah, so that's what I am really trying very hard to. Now is it better at least? Is it better now when I talk? No. Okay. See, the best thing is, most of you, if you all come to the first 3 or 4 rows, then without a mic I can speak. Okay. So, what? Like this? Sorry? Quiz is going to be online, so I don't really need a classroom for quiz. Okay, this argument we shall have at the end. We'll thrash it out at the end. Okay. Now, coming back here, see, anyway, whatever you do for the employees, you will be finding that there's complaint. Any complaint about food in VIT hostels? Okay, last year when I asked the same question, there was no, people told food is fine. Okay, so I don't know why. So basically now we are having 2, okay, that's too bad. Now is it better? Is it better like this? No. Okay. So basically there are 2 things, the organized sector and unorganized sector. Okay, organized sectors will have a trade union. Okay, how many of you have seen trade unions? Okay, I'll put it, how many of you have not seen a trade union? Who have not seen a trade union? Okay, if you go to Katpadi station, you'll see SRMU, Southern Railway Mazdoor Union. Okay, that's an example of a trade union. A trade is one skill. So people of one skill set get together and then they collectively make their demands. They collectively make their demands. Okay, so this is what we call as a trade union. Auto rickshaws, welfare union. Taxi drivers, welfare union. Everywhere you will see this. Okay, however, most of the managerial cadre people are prohibited from being in the unions because they are not part of a trade. Okay, so you can take the call as to whether it's a very fair thing or not. So this is the way the employment, okay, the unemployment and employment rate along with the with the public and private sector is being contrasted. In India, now we are focusing on what is known as skill development mission, NSDM. Okay, so what they want to do is they want to make the people or develop the skills of the people. So what happens if suppose you are a barbender, we are going to take you and give all the good practices for barbending. The good practices of barbending will make you superior to other barbenders, with the problem that you also expect that your services are at a premium. Okay, whenever you are investing money on developing a skill, isn't it that you are trying to get a higher wage? Okay, so unfortunately, what the government is doing is they are asking people like VIT to train the this unskilled people. It's a very good thing. However, the problem is they want to make us employ them. Okay, we have to make them, we have to prove that they are employable. We have to get them jobs. Okay, so this is where the problem comes, because the government is not willing to take up recruitment. Okay, for example, in my state, Tamil Nadu, they are saying that police is having a lot of vacancy. If police are having a vacancy, where is the engineering cadre going to get filled up? Okay, so this is one of the biggest reason why I personally feel that with a skilled employment pool, employable set of people, we are not able to get them employed. Yeah, you come forward, please. Come forward. There are seats here. Please come forward. Okay, that's the minimum I can do now. Please come forward. No issues. Come. Okay. Now, if you look at there's a thing called Pygmalion in English. There's a flower girl. She goes to an English professor, develops her English, and then she finds that she's without a job because her language has improved so much. She's not able to sell flowers, which at least she was able to do earlier. Anyway, that's just one passing thought. The unorganized sector is like that only because of mainly the problem of loans. They take loans for agriculture purpose or other purposes. If you see, most of the laborers are former landlords. Formerly they were landlords, but now what has happened? They have lost their livelihood for various reasons, and also to try to pay off the debt of their father or their brothers or their husbands. Many people come into the construction industry, and when they come here, they don't have any footing because they cannot belong to any of the trade unions. No trade union will accept a person from another state. So like this, they are being harassed a lot. Okay, so is there any way by which we can come, or as construction professionals, is there any way by which we can help these people come out of this problem? You can think about that. Okay, so basically this is the essence of the labor laws. They don't want any discrimination, they don't want any child labor, they want to ensure that assured wages are given, and then they want a mechanism for addressing problems. I don't know why this has gone off. Okay, can you hear me? So basically there's some electrical problem. I don't know what to do. Anyway, towards the last few, I have come to almost the end of my lecture in any case. What? Sorry? I cannot talk louder than this today. My throat is totally gone. Okay, we'll continue it in the next class. Okay, we'll continue in the next class.